Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me here for my wonderful instructional design plan. I'm excited to hear your feedback and get to know what I could do to improve my instructional design. So, just the basic layout and sort of the foundation of what I'm trying to achieve is as a Santa Cruz Public Library employee, one of my main focuses is to educate new onboarding staff about our wonderful bookmobile. So, one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of the onboarding staff is that when a patron calls to want information about the bookmobile or have they want their a book to be delivered at a particular site because that's where they're there. A lot of the librarians and library aides don't have that training. So one of the things that I want to emphasize in this particular training is I want to go over all the necessary needs for the librarian and library assistant to be fully competent and confident with successfully being able to provide accurate information about the bookmobile. So one of the things that I really am trying to stress is that I want to make sure um, that the learners are really just potential employees who have already experience with working at a library, of course, but most importantly, that I want them to be able to navigate through the Santa Cruz Public Library's homepage and be able to get into the resources that the bookmobile offers, as well as being able to teach a patron how to access that information. Because one of the main things I've realized is that a lot of the librarians end up getting calls that patrons are like, hey, I realize that there's a bookmobile stop here. Or they ask, is the bookmobile coming nearby where I live or where I'm at because I want to return a book or I want to pick up a book, etc. And they end up referring the patron to myself or my colleague, and one of the things that we want to do is eliminate that. Of course, we do not mind, but what I want to make sure is that when the librarian or the library assistant are handling that particular question, that they're confident enough to answer and that they know how to navigate to access that information. So the way that I want to begin this particular instructional design is I want to begin with the overall history about the bookmobile with the Santa Cruz Public Library. It's one of those things where I have a lot of the librarians come up to me and they're like, "Hey, we see you sort of in every single branch. What's your title and what do you do with the public library?" And I tell them what I do is I work for the bookmobile, and they're like, "What? We have a bookmobile?" They see it on the website, but they're not able to really navigate through the interface of the bookmobile. So what I'm trying to create is an instructional design plan that when new onboarding employees show up for orientation, that they're able to receive a nice 45-minute lecture slash interactive feature where they're able to learn about the history about the bookmobile, how it served the communities in Santa Cruz, and most importantly, what are the types of communities that the bookmobile um, attends to. And another thing is that I want to make sure that they're able to navigate through the interface, through the Santa Cruz Public Library main interface, and I want them to be able to feel comfortable exploring the different stops that we have, how to reroute the material. So instead of one of the books going into the one of the branches, that they're able to uh, re, re that they're able to send it back to the location that is desired by the patron. So one of the things that I really want to emphasize in this is that as someone that works on board the bookmobile, I feel that I am the proper person to be giving out this particular instruction. And one of the main goals, as I mentioned, is I want to make sure that all the onboarding staff is also familiar with how to do it on the back end of the system, the software system that the Santa Cruz Public Library uses, which is also known as Polaris. So one of the things that the librarians mostly call us for is that, hey, we don't really know how to send this particular book into the patron's account so that it's sent over to the bookmobile. So one of the things that I really want to go through is really just have the patients and have them to navigate and have the learners explore that particular feature. Um, Again, another thing that I want to emphasize is that I really want them to be familiar with the interface and with the Bookmobile website. So one of the things that I'm trying to eliminate is I'm trying to eliminate some sort of test at the end, because it's not the test I feel as though it's not really going to suffice as to what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to achieve that the students or the learners are able to ask themselves questions on the first day of orientation, and they're able to really just achieve that confidence that they need when that question is asked by the patron. And of course, together and collectively, what I plan is having a PowerPoint presentation along with a screencast to record a lecture and have them just really get familiarized with the ultimate learning objectives, which is being able to navigate through the Santa Cruz Public Library's main interface and be able to provide the patrons with the necessary information that they need. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'm excited to post my instructional design plan. Please feel free to let me know any comments, any concerns, or just what I can do to really make this work for the employees, because what I really want is I want the onboarding staff to have the proper tools to assist a patron with the Bookmobile services. So thank you so much.